During her trial in 1970 and 71, she seemed a horrifying combination of confused little girl and cold-blooded murderer. And like all of the others in the Manson family, Susan Atkins' loyalty to the man who led her life where it went was absolute. So when Charles Manson shaved his hair off, she did too. And then, just as he had done, she and her co-defendants all carved X's into their foreheads. Today, she says her bizarre behavior was born out of Manson's evil persuasiveness and fed by her constant drug use. During her Manson years, Susan Atkins dropped acid at least 300 times, and she smoked, swallowed, shot up, and snorted every other drug in sight. And although she had no drugs in her first 5 years of imprisonment, she says it took her that long to fully regain her consciousness, to even begin to realize what she had done.
And we drove to the house with instructions to kill everyone in the house.
From Charlie?
Yeah. And not just that, but that we were instructed to go all the way down every house, hit every house on the
street?
On the street, yes.
And kill all the people in those houses?
Kill all the people in all those houses. And we went into the house, and I remember that as we went in, a car came up to the driveway, and I remember Tex getting out, and without saying anything, there were gunfire shot. I was in the bushes, and...
That's when the young boy, Stephen Parent, was killed.
Was killed.
In the car, outside.
Right. The people in the house were all brought into the living room and tied up, and I remember that Wojtek Bakowski, I believe is his name, I had tied his hands with a towel and then was instructed to kill him. And I raised the knife that I had in my hand, and I couldn't put the knife down. I couldn't bring it down. It was just as though there was a force there that held my wrist, and I couldn't move. And as he saw that I couldn't move, then he very easily undid the ties, the towel that I tied his wrist with, and he and I began to fight. And I remember I was screaming for help, and he was screaming for help, and then Tex came and helped me, and I was left to sit and watch Sharon Tate. And about that time, all I can remember seeing is people just scattering in different places and running in different places, and I was left sitting with Sharon Tate, and she was talking to me, and I remember that I had absolutely, I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing for her as she begged for her life and for the life of her baby. And Jesus. I remember when we first went in, one of the people said, "Who are you?" And Tex said, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business." And I remember that in my conscience, it's so alive in me, even just recalling it. I remember that I had gone so far and there was no turning back. That even if I had wanted to run, even if I had wanted to leave, I couldn't. It was like I was caught in something that I had no control over. I had absolutely no say-so as to what was happening there. I was just like a tool in the hands of the devil, is the only way I can put it. And I believe that it was by the grace of God that my hand did not go down with that knife on Wojtek Bakowski's chest. I believe that...
Well, who did kill those people?
That night?
Yeah.
Tex.
I've made every attempt possible to apologize. Remorse and sorrow for hideous actions. is not calculatable. You can't calculate it. It's not something that's tangible. What remorse is not sitting in a prison cell for the rest of your life, crying over what happened and what you cannot change. Remorse is genuine repentance, turning away from behavior.
I know you don't say his name, but when you hear the name Charles Manson, is there something physical that goes on inside you?
Yeah. Yes. He is the one person that is the most difficult person in my life to forgive. And I work on that. I don't want to live a life with any unforgiveness in it. So many people lost so much. The victims, the families of the victims, the families of the people who were involved, the community at large, the society at large. Everybody lost.
And what about the son born when she lived with the Manson group? He was placed for adoption at age 1 after her conviction.
Are you in contact with him?
No. All I know is that he's lived his life unscathed with this. He hasn't been touched by this. And I'm very grateful for that.
Do you think he knows?
I don't know. I may never know.
Let's get the nurse chair. What side, sir, do you want to be on? That's plenty, because you're going to have to dress her as well.
Would you like to do what we're talking about? If I say the Lord is mine, I shall not be mislead, lie down, and lead me beside the waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me on the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of, I shall fear no, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they preparest a table before me in the presence of mine. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and kindness will follow me. Goodness and mercy will follow me all the and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.